There we go. We are recording. Hello, warriors. We are back. We took like about a month off, a little hiatus from doing the interviews, but we are back now with one of my favorite people in the world, Miss Marie, Spiritual Baddie. If you guys haven't checked out her channel, you guys got to check out her channel. My beloved, he sent me to her in the middle of the night, woke me up, sent me to her channel, and I've been there with her ever since. Yeah,
Hi, everyone. I hope that everybody's doing great. Thank you so much for having me here. And it's been a pleasure connecting with you ever since that first channel. What was it? It's all of
um,
me. Wasn't that
yes,
it?
yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. It was a
yeah.
channeled message. Yes, I got woke up in the
And
middle of the night for
with a
that channeled
song.
message. Yep.
And I was
Oh yeah.
late. It was a late night. I was late.
Yeah. I had never heard of you, and all of a sudden, I'm being told to look up your channel, and I'm half asleep, going, "Do what? Spiritual what?" So I
Who's
found
spiritual
I found
baddie?
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found you and I'm sitting there listening and everything and you were live. You were doing a live one and then all of a sudden you started singing that song and my mouth dropped open and then that wasn't the only thing about it though because there was like 10 other synchronizations, other things. That Dance Monkey Dance song was in that one and I had just gotten that from a parent like 5 hours earlier at school. Which I'd never heard it before. It was crazy, yeah. So you guys real deal here. No joke, real deal.
Thank you.
She's got
Thank
a
you.
lot. She gets it in.
Thank you.
We're gonna continue the interviews, and I've got them here. I don't have my little trusty tablet, so I kind of had to. I had to do a screenshot this time. Last time, uh, Kelly had to do the screenshot. Now it's my turn. One of the other ladies I interviewed, she did the screenshot, so she came prepared for me. Um, the goal of this is to let people learn about us, get to know us, not just the faces that they see on the screen doing the readings or the helping or the Reiki or the healing or the whatever, but actually kind of get to know a little bit about us. There were 3 questions that were brought to me from Source that they wanted me to present, and then just let you guys answer them. Um, However you see fit. So I'm gonna if I'm felt led to speak up, ask a question or whatever, that's the only time that I'll interrupt. Other than that, it's on you.
Sounds good.
And I'm gonna give you the questions. If you need me to repeat them, that's perfectly fine. Just let me know. Um, the first one is what was your ascension catalyst? Um, the next is any what lesson you found that you've had to go back over several times because we often find that they're like onions peeling layers. So
Yeah.
what was one that you've had to go over and over and over? And then the last would be what advice would you give to those who are just coming into ascension? So if you need me to repeat them, then I'll repeat them. If not, then
Okay. All right. So my catalyst for me, I hmm, I'm not even gonna talk about the sorry about the twin flame awakening. That's some other thing. But a catalyst for me on my spirituality and myself. I was already born with the gift, like most of us are. But I was very much into the church. So because of my parents, the way I grew up, I was kind of I was kind of shut down of the gift. I didn't have my awakening again of my gift because I was completely like almost immune to not having anything because I do remember being in church and thinking way back like I want to be gifted. I want to be speaking in tongues. I want to be able to heal people. I want to be doing this and that. And even though my siblings and I were top students in church because they have classrooms and they also give us certifications and all this goodness,
yeah,
but that wasn't enough for me. Like I felt that I needed to do more. And I remember how I felt that I was not worthy of God's love because I did not have a gift or I wasn't doing enough to praise my God. Obviously, that's indoctrination and all this other things. But coming in on the journey when I had my whole awakening, and my catalyst was I always laugh at this because that's a little toxic moment for me. Not gonna lie. I was dating my karmic, and when I was dating my karmic, he was going through something. We had already separated. We were trying to work things out, and I had these whole revelations. Is able to tap into things that I was not aware of. Like I didn't even know tarot was called tarot to even start off. Like that's how much I had stepped out of anything that had to do with spirituality. For me, spirituality was connecting with God, and you're spiritual, and that's it. So obviously, it's not that. Religion and spirituality are two completely different topics. But for me, it was I was able to tap into the Akashic records and find out that my partner that I was trying to work things out with at the time was trying to cheat on me with someone else. And that's what brought out all these gifts. And I remember that next day, I'm like, I'm going to tell him this and this and this. So obviously, I think I'm orchestrating this whole great plot. And to tell him the next day, so I hit him up. I'm telling him we were going to meet up for lunch, dinner, something. And I start telling him the whole story. And what I was able to see, obviously, that's my psychic clairvoyant. I was able to pick up on the Akashic records. For others that do not know, I do work with the Akashic records and help other people assist with that, within getting them to tap into past lives and now this. But I remember telling him about everything. It's almost like that movie. It reminded me of that movie where you get to see through some sort of spectacles, tells you the time plays, this person, and everything like that. It wasn't exactly like that, but I mean, I had all the details, right? And when I went to confront him about him, well, not really confront him about him, but tell him all about the situation and everything that had orchestrated in my mind. This man stops me. He's like, "Hey, babe, I'm sorry." But yes, it happened like that. And when he said this, my heart sank into my stomach. I'm like, what do you mean that this is true? That was like, where the hell did this information come from then? And then I started, meditating. I learned about meditation and other things. And I was able to channel, but I didn't want to accept it because for me, it was like, ooh, the devil, it's not good. Do not welcome that. And I remember I had my spiritual awakening come and I shut down from it 2 whole years. And it was not a pretty sight. It was not a pretty sight because I'm able to help and assist people with releasing oppression, demonic attachments, and all that goodness. That's how I started my journey. And for me, I started seeing these entities. And I wasn't scared, but it was something surreal. It almost seemed something out of a freaking mystery book for me. And I wasn't scared, but there is when I had my power. I'm like, you do not exist. What the hell are you telling me to, do kill myself, for other words, and commit things that I wouldn't, and then it's where that lowest of the low is when I took back all my power and I was like, divine, whatever this is, God, whomever you are. Obviously, I was born and raised in church, but in a Christian home. But at that time, I never felt God's divine love as I ever did. There was so unconditional, no matter where I was in my lowest of the low. And obviously, some other events played out to that. But there is when I said, I am at your grace. Allow me to see what I can do to assist others and just lead me to where I need to go. And that's where all the journey started. Mm-hmm.
I muted myself so that because there was a little background noise. I didn't want to interrupt you. I was telling her earlier, you guys, from the last time that she and I were on video to now, there's a difference. I don't know if you guys can see there. She has a really strong angelic presence around her right now. For those of you who can see auras and see angelic presence, but listening. I felt a difference too from the first time we talked when you told me as little snippets about growing up in the church and everything, a more peacefulness coming
Oh
from you.
yes.
So I wanted to tell you that I'm feeling it. So I know other people around you that are, everyday life are feeling it too. Just thought you should
Thank you.
know. We always want to know when we've made that progress because sometimes we don't see it. Um,
Yeah.
but I
I
didn't know
I
that you had
definitely
shut
see
down
it.
for 2 years. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. It had been, and it was crazy because I had been gifted my first oracle. The spirits are like, "Hey, hey, come back, come into this side." I was gifted my first oracle, which I had no idea what it was. It was the Romance Angels oracle, and back in 2013, my friend
Mm.
Olympia, she had it sitting on her counter by the kitchen, and I'm like, "What are these cards?" And I started looking at them. I'm like, "Oh, they're really pretty." And I put them back. I was like, "Okay." And she's like, "Here, Marie, you can have them." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." But I was just like, "Okay." I'm like, "No, really." She's like, "I want you to have them," and she was crying. "These are for you. They're meant for you." And I was like, "Okay, chill," but whatever. I didn't even know what they were for, but I just took them. And I had them in my drawer, sitting there doing nothing. So spirit was already nudging. But after that, that was around 2016, 2015, 2016, when the whole 2 year not accepting. Because I could tap in and I was like, nope, nope. And I was like, no, whatever this is. And um, I had divine show me what my life could be like if I, stepped into my power. But it was really scary. It was really scary to accept, to just live true to your heart, because you
Yeah.
have this whole idea and program of what goals that you have set for yourself and people in this whole life, where you're like, how my life is going to be without, who the hell am I if I don't have
Hmm.
this and that, so.
Yeah. And I'm being told to reiterate, and I will say it over and over again, y'all. When we see 444. This is exactly why we see 444. That foundation, we're built with that foundation, and we're built on a faulty one, or even one that's not so much faulty, but just not ours, not our true one. Um, that's why we get the angel numbers to let us know what we're doing. And I mean, if ever there was an instance of that 444, this is it right here. Because to me, it's like you were in that fear of, you didn't want to rock the boat. It was built, and you were going to stay on it.
Yeah,
you know
and
and
like
there's so
for
many people out
me,
there like that.
yeah, and then you know how I was not I like for I was very depressed my whole life, but I never showed it because I'm like most of the time the life of the party. My life number is 3. I mean, hello, party over here with an Aries. So of course, you're gonna try. I'm gonna make other people laugh and feel good. But I was not content my whole life the way that I had a very traumatic experience growing up. Um, but I never let that stop me. But just the looking out of stepping to where I am now, at what my family's gonna think, what are they gonna say,
Yeah.
and like my mom, she has been preaching in the church for so many years. She's a pastor, which not anymore, but she doesn't practice like that. She was close to it, and then all my uncles on her side of the family, pastors. So you're kind of like, what do I do? But then when I accepted my calling, not just a calling, because you have to feel that is, there's something within you, within your soul, that is guiding you to step out of
Mhm.
a comfort zone, that who that's not who you are. And for me, it happened, and I opened up about it. My family didn't like it at all, but long story short, and you know how this is how divine's grace is upon you. I was manifesting for other things, when it comes into spirituality, when it comes into my twin flame, yada yada. My family, I just said it once, but it did. Obviously, you manifest with your whole heart and with intention, right? And expectation of things coming to pass. But I just did it once, and that's the first thing that came forward for me. My whole family accepts what I do. Of course, they do not fully understand it, but everybody's very
Yeah.
supportive of me doing it. My own mother, she apologized for my childhood. She came through. She's like, I don't know what you do. I don't like it. I'm not gonna say like, woohoo, you're doing this, but you're my daughter. This is what you feel your calling is for, and you know, I support you all the way. And whatever I can do, I will be here for you. So,
Yeah.
divine comes through
Uh,
completely for you.
there you go. And that's owning it. That's right there. We got we got speaking your truth right there.
Hmm.
You spoke your truth, and look what happened. You manifested out of it.
Yeah.
So
And it wasn't
yeah,
easy. It wasn't easy.
yeah. That's a lesson. Somebody needed that lesson. Probably me. It's probably gonna end up being me, but yeah, that's normally what happens. No, but seriously, yeah, somebody needed that lesson, needed to hear that. By speaking your truth, you manifested out of that. So yeah, you
Yeah.
manifested something well and good. I mean, it wasn't like rainbows and lollipops, but you manifested something better than you thought you were gonna get.
And that's the last thing that I thought it was gonna come forward for me, because for me, I thought my family was gonna be fully supportive, because divine has shown me where I'm going to be stepping into wealth, um, other things like I don't want to say popularity, but a little bit fame, where other people who need of me are going to be finding me, and for some, I will not be charging because it is meant for me to meet them. But I thought when that happened, when I was, wealthy and bountiful on a material level, that's when my family was going to come forward.
Um,
And that did not happen. I mean, I was already stepping into where I am now, but this happened sometime beginning of last year. So
yeah.
it was completely blindsided by when it happened. So I was like, dang young. Spiritual life is real. Manifesting is real.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody's having I'm having trouble breathing, catching my breath. So I don't know if somebody's watching, they're having panicky or have been having anxiety lately or something like that. But if that's the case, y'all need to do some breathing, um, clear your energy and do some breathing exercises, slow your panic. Um, look around you, find three things you can taste, smell, hear, see. Just start connecting physically with yourself because your panic is coming over onto me, and you're not even watching this right now. So that's how strong it is. Um, yeah, because I'm sitting here going, okay, I can't breathe. Why can't I breathe? And then I realize it's somebody else, somebody that's going to be watching this has been having panic attacks. Um, oh, okay. The next question was we go with the lessons. Which one for you has been the one that you've had to kind of go over and over and over again until you finally was like, oh, because we do it layer by layer, and every layer has a different, aspect to it. I've found.
Mm, for me, there's two that really highlighted um, throughout, not just with my awakening, but throughout life. I have a way differently to speaking, connecting with spirit, but it was more for myself of how I I'm sorry, just going back to the bad memories, like it's making me a little emotional. How I am worthy, how I'm worthy to have the gift that I have, how I'm worthy to be happy, how I'm worthy to just be myself and love me for whom I am. And the other thing that really comes in and clicks with the other one is about how you do not need for other people to understand you, and that is okay.
Okay, you said that, and I just had a realization. I don't know if you remember. I don't even remember when it was. It could have been about a year ago, and I felt drawn to send you a text and tell you that you were worthy. That,
Hmm.
I think it had something to do with your twin, but I felt so led to text you that, And I didn't know why, but I'm guessing now maybe that might have been what it was.
Yeah, I have this thing where I'm very, very grateful. I'm a very grateful person. I remember the first time when I asked for like, what do I need to step into? And then I'm just gonna say this very openly. There's nothing special about me that we all do not have. When I say connecting with spirit, spirit comes in a way for all of us. Oops, for all of us. That was my dog. Sorry. Um, and where this thing comes in when you accept to hear spirit. And I do have a little story about how I was like, all right, spirit, whatever you say, I will do, because I almost died by not hearing divine one time. But that time of receiving what it is gifted to me, where I stand in life, I feel very grateful of it, but I feel too much sometimes. Too much where it's like, wow, why am I being blessed this way? Why am I being like, other people are needing of this, and other people could receive this instead of me, divine. And sometimes I say, take whatever it is that is gifted to me at this time, because I feel so grateful about it. And I'm getting emotional right now, but it's like I'm bountiful. I have so much to give. Like, do you think that I just have this little much to give to everybody? Like, no. There's so much that, and there's more to come from where it is gifted. Because sometimes or regardless of people giving me, how can I say this? I don't know the word right now, but it's like without people kind of giving me that worthiness, I don't need it from them, from spirit, because I know spirit loves me unconditionally, and whatever we want to call it, divine or spirit. But sometimes it's about myself, because sometimes I feel that life is too beautiful, and we're just wasting it upon it every single day. So with all that is gifted to me, I'm like, I'm just good having health and air, spirit. Like, I'll get to where I need to go. And I was like, nope, here you go. All these things. So sometimes with worthiness or other things that step into, because sometimes in the beginning or even now, I, I I embrace the twin flame journey into a level. I'm not like, whoa, the twin flame journey, because it keeps a lot of people stuck. It keeps a lot of people stuck,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a very, very, very difficult journey to go into. And sometimes I ask mine, why me? And not why me, like, oh, why me? Why do I gotta go do this? No, it's like, why me? Why am I chosen to do, so on and so forth. But, that had been one thing that I had really struggled for many, many years. I'm 32 years old now, living grace, the greatest of it all. But for 31 years almost, I felt very unworthy of everything that was in my life. Yeah. So that's one lesson, the main one that I had to accept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said there were two. Did you want to do the other one?
The other one was part with not being, not everybody needed to understand me of why I thought the way that I did, the way that I am, even if they are pointing fingers or seeing you as something different that they do not understand. There's I've had some events where people try to play me out as I'm the bad guy because they're dealing with their dark empath energy, which a dark empath is not bad. But I mean, it's all part of divine, and you're dealing with even um, your dark feminine, your dark masculine. And that's something that has not been embraced here on the twin flame journey. I have not really heard anybody speaking about it, but I guess we're going to have to speak about it pretty soon, right?
Speak about it, because this is the first I've heard, but the thing is that when you said it, for some reason I resonated with it. So
No,
there's
yeah,
a reason. There's a reason.
because yeah, there's a reason why we all go step into this, and a lot of us that have heart journeys step into that energy. And sometimes you're being pulled, and that's really working in the light, but through the darkness. And what does that mean? That means that parts of yourself that you have really kept on the down low, things that you do not feel good about. Some people where we call it to be not too ladylike or too manly. Parts of it. I mean, there's so many things that we can speak of, but it's like some people that are really into dressing in the dark, working with bones, working with blood, working with that part of that. Yeah, it sounds a little bit dark, but it's not completely dark. That's part of working with Mother Earth herself and the element of the physical, element of the physical. Now, there's other things where we get to embrace, per se, there's narcissists, and here comes the dark empath. What does that mean? That means that that dark empath will show the light to that narcissist, to what they need to work on, and shedding light, because that person itself will not be drawn or withdrawn from themselves to be holding themselves back. They're gonna fight back. Does that sound bad? No, that's the divine feminine who steps into her power using what she has within herself. And I mean, there's many other things, but I mean, let's not speak about it too much about it, so we can talk about it in some other maybe event. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there was definitely a reason why it resonated with me. So, yeah. And when you said, okay, like when I first started Ascension, I got quiet, like what I felt, how I should be perceived, like women should be quiet, and don't ask me where it came from, but somebody who's good and kind and is on this path should be quiet and demure, and it wasn't that somebody was telling me that. It's just like suddenly I felt like that. I'm not a quiet person and I cuss like a sailor, but suddenly and my kids are like, Mom, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I got quiet because I felt like that's how it was supposed to be. And then and then slowly, little by little, I'm like, this isn't me. I mean, I'm a good person, but I'm sorry, I got a potty mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Just coming into this spiritual journey, to spiritual life. You can't be using foul words. You can't be doing this and that. Light workers, where we're stepping in. Yeah, most of us are light workers. I don't like to title myself as anything, really, because they try for you to speak a certain way, dress a certain way. I mean, if you're not doing this and that, I mean, your throat chakra is so off, because no, my throat chakra is fully open and aware. If I want to tell you to off, I will. Okay, period, poo. But with that itself, like, there's this whole way of how they're trying to teach us or show what you need to be collecting. For some people, like crystals. Some people want to collect bones, or that's their thing, or follow the certain way of being. I mean, that's indoctrination within what? Spirituality. So no, spirituality really is about living true to your spirit, what your spirit is calling you to do.
Okay. All right.
So you can be spiritual without needing to have so many freaking crystals. You can smoke a little cigarette or whenever you feel called to, because the tobacco does clear out energy. Hello.
Okay. Yes. And see, and I have been hiding. Like, I know that I need to slack down on it, but I have literally been feeling bad and like hiding the fact that I smoke, from certain people and stuff like that, in the spiritual community. Like feeling bad, like.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain. Like feeling like I should
I'm clearing the air
better. Yeah. but my heritage is Native American too. So then I've got others on the other side, like, what do you know? Your heritage uses this, and it's used to clear and it's used to ground. And, yes, maybe you need to look at how much you are smoking. Yeah, if you're worried about that, then tend to that. But no, okay, I completely understand what you're saying with that. And there's other things. And like you said, we'll go over them later. So now you've done open my eyes and my mind about something. So
no, yeah, like I don't smoke, but I do have friends who smoke here and there. I maybe sometimes even manifesting. Do you know that manifesting, you get your say this is cigarette, right? Manifestation technique 101, real quick to everybody. You know how like the bud is here, you get the rest where the tobacco is at. So what you do, whatever you want to manifest for, you want to draw something in or somebody to call you or whatever. So you put your manifestation you write it in red, in the tobacco, in the cigarette. If you are to call a person or whatever, date of birth or the full name, and then you light it up, say whatever you want 3 times, and puff, puff away.
What? Oh
Manifestation.
yeah.
Quick, and you get your little cigarette too. Hello. How best can it be?
Thank
Yeah.
you. Oh.
I don't want you with a
Oh
whole
my
box
god.
of freaking cigarettes though. You're like, which? But you're writing manifestations down. Which manifestation am I going to smoke today? No, like I mean, from time to time.
Oh god. Oh, okay. All right. Hey, it's no worse than bay leaves. We would because and see, what, matter of fact, because my religion or faith path, whatever, is pagan. I all of them, there's not one that I don't call on. I work with Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, um, whatever you want to call. Either I don't have one that I prefer the other unless my mother goddess, and I work with a Kete with that. But I've been told that I'm backwards and wrong for yes, that only God's children are twins. That there's no way I'm a twin. And I'm not really on a spiritual path. Yeah. So no, yeah.
Okay, so
But
I just have a quick question. So if only twin flames, and this is real quick, are only God's children, how come we have their starseeds and there's other children that have Draco
yeah.
in them, right? And they're also twin flames. I've encountered them. I have done their akashics. They scare me the fuck off completely. I don't know if I want to work with them yet, but here's your work. Here's your work.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Oh, come in. They
Oh
have
my
their own divine
goodness.
counterpart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's
you
just
are a twin flame. I channel for you. I know you're an
yes. Yeah.
authentic twin
I know.
flame. You are.
I know. Um, there's so much like tacked onto that. Okay, yeah, we got to go away from that because we're yeah.
Okay.
My mind now they're like pinging my head. So now it's like shut it off. Hold on. We're not doing that right now. Okay, all right. We're gonna move on to the
You
last
get to
question.
rewatch this later and take some notes. You can hit me
Yeah.
up, Marie. Let's chat about whatever you said. I'm open to it. Waiting for you, my
Oh my
dear.
god. Um okay, the last one was what advice would you give to those coming into Ascension? Because the end of last summer, I'm sure you felt it. It was like a kaboom happened, and we had a lot of people start Ascension processes.
I'm like, welcome, babies, welcome.
Hmm.
We're gonna
Yeah.
embrace you over here. Um, my advice for anybody getting their awakening, coming into Ascension, into alignment, it doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter what you start, if it could be even looking into what is really happening with our government, wherever you're at, things with pharma, with you getting sick, people looking into vaccinations. I mean, we all awake within a different time, but it's all for the same thing. It could be within spirituality. One thing, do not compare yourself to others. People's awakening, your chapter 2 cannot compare to somebody else's chapter 20. You're going to have to take this day by day. And if you have questions, look for it. One thing that I will say into trying to practice anything, really try to educate yourself before opening something up. And I will say this because I do read tarot. I'm a channeler, but I love tarot. Every single time that you do even come in with these bad boys here with the tarot, you open portals. Okay, even if you're just at home. So allow yourself to look into how you can protect your energy space. Protecting can be about you creating an energy shield. You don't need anything but your own intention and your own divine power. Protection is one of the main things that I would advise everybody and anybody to get because one thing is when you can protect yourself physically from someone, but another thing is to protect yourself spiritually from someone. And not just someone, but I'm just saying any other energy. And that and their own energy could be even yourself because your own darkness, your own shadows, your own inner thoughts, hidden thoughts, emotions, and everything that you have put in that. We're gonna say that I don't want to call it. It is within the spirit. It's not within the soul. That spiritual attic will be open, will be brought up. So you're gonna think everybody else is affecting you. Everybody else knows. Sometimes it's just your own energy. And for those that are staying hermit, sometimes it's bad when you create yourself to be in a hermit mode. For those of you who do not know what a hermit is, just keeping yourself stuck in an energy on a safe bubble and not wanting to get out there. I understand sometimes people are not people. We're not people's person. You know, you don't want to be out there where the people are, but you need to get yourself out of that energy space because you create an energy that is just you without a face. And it's just your own energy that takes in all embodies. Some people think that it's other like demonic or some other like fairies or something like that. No, it's you, boo. You that keeping yourself stuck in a hermit mode for so ever long. You're creating a new version of yourself from your own darkness. And it's just sometimes it's not even the darkness, sometimes it's about you keeping yourself stuck. So open the doors, let the light in, protect your energy space because that's a way that you protect your energy space, allowing the sun and get your vitamin D as well, you know. But like, is there really a way of doing this? No, just living true to what you feel it's right for you. Even if sometimes the whatever decisions you have of keeping stuck or doing things differently, that is okay. We're all different. We all bring something different to this beautiful planet for this to bring it into Ascension.
I love it. Yeah, that about letting the light in. I completely agree with that because that is what from jump with my ascension. I went from being a moon child to a sun child like
Mm-hmm.
overnight. You know, for the first 8 months, like I couldn't get enough of Father Son. I would stand out there from sun up to sundown if I was able to just standing there with my face to the sun. You know, just in a
Yeah,
meditative state. So sun heals, you know, and it
it
was funny
does.
the first time I said that to somebody, they kind of turned it around on me and made it SON, and I was like, all right, I'll give you that one, you know, and I mean, and that's not my faith path, but it's still, you know, I mean, that's yeah, sure, who can argue with that one, you know,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That's yeah, definitely. Is there anything else that you wanted to add, just that I haven't touched on that you feel like you need to get out there to anybody?
um, for me, it's very important just to let it out that our advice to be living true to your heart and not to label yourself as anything because we always keep growing, keep doing different things. We've always find new information, even about ourselves, because we are always under construction. We're always changing.
Mhm.
So yes, you may be um, an empath right now or clairvoyant right now, but don't keep yourself with that. I'm gonna say the titles because that's something that has been really highlighted to me. Or following a certain religion when it comes to spirituality. Um, to work with it, yes, you can mix religion and spirituality together, but not label yourself as just one thing because you can work with Archangel Michael and you can work with Lucifer, you can work with La Santísima Muerte, you can work with Mary Magdalene. I mean, it's all about how you feel and who calls to you. For me, I love Hecate. I love her, but I haven't worked with her. She's been calling me, but I'm like, okay, I'll receive the call soon in time. But she's like, you're ready to work with me. I'm like, okay. But you know,
Mhm.
within time, you whenever you feel drawn to, but just educate yourself, look for information, everything. Um, don't be just led from other people that their information or their I want to say like there's obviously there's some sort of hierarchy going on sometimes, but no, then nothing makes you just because you started on the journey wherever you start on, and there's
Mhm.
another
Yeah.
person who's 20 years, yeah, there's experience, but some people that are drawn in, that they're your awakening was brought up differently than theirs. Your path of whatever you have been living your life is completely different from whatever they have lived their life. For me, myself, I have been very young, brought into this. But what I have lived has been very traumatic, has been very difficult, and not that doesn't make me any better, any worse than anybody. But my awakening has been so open, where other people always praise me for how young I am and how like the wisdom that comes through me, and all this is not the gift itself. We're all gifted in a way, but it's all about how you embrace life. And the first thing is not about whatever you can manifest, whatever you can per se, because we all want magic, we all want that goodness, but it all starts here. It
Yeah.
all will start here. You need to change your perspective on how you see things, and don't close off your ideas because um, you're not you're not very can say knowledgeable of whatever, or you have never had that experience with whatever you've been gifted to learn now. Just dwell with it, look into it. And if you don't feel it is to be yours, it's just part of information that you just take
Mm-hmm.
in. So don't label anything as that's not mine, that is, because sooner or later it will come back around. Just like those people
Mm-hmm.
that are on the twin flame journey. Oh, he's not my twin. I don't know what the hell twin flame is. And a month later, I am a twin flame. Why am I twin
Yep.
flame? You
Oh
have
yeah.
to, because that's an inner acceptance that comes with time. For me
Mm-hmm.
and for myself, with my twin flame journey, that's one that you just go like, I did not want to accept it completely, 100% no. Okay. I at the time was not financially well. I like all I had was my phone. I did not own anything. Spirit, I was very, very wealthy for a time growing up. Then I obviously had a different spectacle life, what it was. And Spirit was like, nope, you got to start down low to feel what it is to have nothing, nothing at all.
Mm-hmm.
Almost got into a sense of um, being completely living in the streets. My sister obviously didn't let that happen. Thank God for her. But I told her I was done with life. I didn't want to do anything of this. I didn't want to have the career that I had anymore, which was paying well, but I didn't want it no more. Like, it doesn't feel true to me. She was like, take the time that you need. And obviously, we don't all have this type of angelic beings around us, but divine does it for whatever needs to be done. But I'm very grateful for her. But at the time, throughout those 4 or 5 months, I was like, okay, it is what it is. I have to accept that now. Divine wants me to work, with whatever this is. I was very scared. I was very scared. Um, but that itself of the awakening was brought in first from the spiritual connecting with my twin, and then accepting to work with the collective that happened
Mm-hmm.
after. Because my sister obviously does. She's my best friend. She does have a part in this. But with it all, I was telling her, nope, this is not, because Spirit was telling me itself. I didn't know about twin flames through, now there's a lot of information. When I started the journey, there was barely
Yeah.
any. I didn't
Or
even
it
hear
was
about
the
it.
wrong information.
Oh, hell yeah.
It
So
was
there's
horrible
so much
information.
information that is no.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
channeled that in. Spirit gave that to me, but I changed my whole livelihood. I was like, nope, nope, nope. Change phone numbers, where I live, career path at the time. Did everything in my power to disconnect from my twin. And I was like, nope. What is a twin flame? And eventually, wrong information came in. But I was like, obviously that didn't resonate with me. So I was like, oh no, he's like not my twin. The Spirit had told me this is your twin, uh, your divine counterpart. That was the first word. And then and I told Spirit, like, if this is my person or whatever that I need to work on, whatever this journey is, um, present him back into my life. It had been like 4 or 5 months where this person and I had completely disconnected. We never shared social medias or nothing. And then Spirit's like, "Blood, here you go." And he connected back with me. Hey, where have you been? I think it was through LinkedIn. And I was like, excuse me, I'm trying to make, because I was obviously promoting my business and whatever not. I was like, where did this guy come from? I didn't even know his last name. He didn't know my last name. And I was
Oh
like,
my God.
oh my God. And it was just at 11:11 too. So I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
and it
weird.
happens. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's serious. No joke, y'all. It happens. I can
Yeah.
remember disconnecting from mine for years, and like I literally we grew up together, um, sharing a child together, but we would go our separate ways, and he would go out of town and work for years. wouldn't hear none from him. I'd talk to his mom every day, but never hear from him. Turn around in the grocery store parking lot and like he's loading groceries in his mom's vehicle, and I didn't even know he was back home. I mean, we just kind of like turn around and look at each other like. I
Do
mean,
I
I
know
can't.
you?
It happened. Yeah, it happens. It's
Yeah.
no joke. You hear and we tell y'all that it can happen. Now, mind you, there are instances if y'all are states away from each other, the not saying it won't happen, but the probability goes down a little bit. But just saying, when we share stories like this that we just hear from out of nowhere, this, that, and the other, everything else, we are not kidding with y'all.
Oh yeah.
But um, I am really, really strongly. I think that it's one of your viewers that's having anxiety, and it's just I'm getting it bad, and I don't know without knowing or what's happening. Um, I don't know what to do, but it's coming really, 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 really strong. So if somebody comes to you and says they've been having anxiety lately, or you pick up on it, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But in the meantime, the message that I'm getting from source is it's going to be okay. Stop making more of it than in your mind. Stop making more of it than what is actually there, and everything's going to be okay. And I am not sure why in the world I'm getting this while I'm on here with you, but it was so much that like I was having trouble catching my breath, and I'm trying to pay attention to listen to you, and it's affecting my nostrils like
Mm.
to where I'm feeling like I can't breathe. Yeah, it's weird. So yeah, whoever you are, we love you. I don't know you, but I love you, and everything's gonna be okay. So just breathe, please, so I can breathe.
Yes, we love
Um,
you. We love
yes.
you so much.
And if you need anything, I'm sure if you're one of Maria's peoples, you can contact her. You can contact me too. I gotta hold on. Excuse me, guys. Oh, sorry. I just feel like I can't breathe, and there's nothing there. Um, it's going down, and then it's making me feel like I want to go like that, like hyperventilate.
Maybe somebody got COVID. Make you a little scared that you got COVID. Don't
Oh,
be.
okay.
Everything
That's
will be
yeah.
fine.
I didn't think about that. I was just going off the aspect of feeling like I can't breathe, but yeah, that's that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we would whomever did get COVID would be feeling scared that they did get
Yeah,
COVID, thinking that they're gonna
yeah,
die. You'll be good, boo. You'll be good.
yeah. It's okay. It's okay. Um. All right. I think that was yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to everything because I'm that, and then I've got source in my other ear, and then I've got them in my energy body. So okay, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to the tail end of that because I was really really interested. You and I are gonna have to get together to talk about some other stuff not related to this, and I can't wait for that.
Come, I am here for you. Whatever you need from me.
All right. Okay, warriors, we are going to end it on here. We went a little bit over. I don't know where we're at right now. I lost track of the time. It'll be all right. And we will talk to you later. Thank you for coming out and joining us.
Thank you
And
for
bye.
having me.